This is the Apple Vision Pro, and I'm going to use it in a way that Apple surely intended, to play old school RuneScape. And I might sound crazy, but this might be the best way to play old school yet. There's actually 3 different ways to play old school on the Vision Pro, and I'll walk you through them all from coolest and most futuristic to most realistic for everyday use. Alright, as you can see, I am now inside the Apple Vision Pro. I have these floating apps here while I'm just sitting at my desk. So rather than having you stare at my blank monitors this whole video, I'm going to turn this crown here on the top and we are going to be transported into Mount Hood, which I personally think looks a lot better. Hopefully the video isn't too shaky here. I noticed when I was testing the recording earlier, it kind of was, but it's not like that in real life, thankfully. Now, as I swipe back and forth here, you may notice that there's not an old school RuneScape app, and that's because Jagex didn't make one for the Vision Pro. However, if we go to compatible apps, it's right there. It's essentially the iPad version of the app, but I promise it is so much cooler than that. So let's open it up, and it brings me right to it, nice and big. Now, let's say this is too small. I can look in the corner here, pinch, and just drag to resize it to be as big or as small as I want it to be. Or I can look in the bottom here, grab and pinch this little bar and move it back and forth so I can get it right up close to my face or further away. I'm accidentally hitting the microphone right now. That is one downside of how this works. So I'm going to place it right here and hopefully that looks close enough on video. So in order to actually log in, I just look at the play now button and pinch my fingers together, and just like that, it starts to log me in. So before we do any content on the Vision Pro, I want to show you how to control the game with this first method. It's really futuristic, it's really cool, but perhaps not the most practical. So in order to go somewhere, you just look, tap your 2 fingers together, and you go right there. And it's actually pretty accurate to where I'm looking. In order to move the camera, you take your 2 fingers, you pinch them together, and you just move them in whatever direction you would like to move the camera. Pretty cool. And to right click, you just look at something, you pinch your 2 fingers together and hold, and just like that, you right click. For the final basic control, you just grab your 2 hands, pinch your 2 fingers together, and move them back and forth just like this to zoom the camera in and out. I would say pretty smooth, pretty cool, but RuneScape's camera is pretty janky. So that's cool and all, but how does it actually perform with real game content? So let me look at my inventory, open it up, and I'm going to use this knife on these logs, and it's really that easy. It's not that difficult, especially if the screen is this large. But you know, this is just a bank standing skill. It's fairly simple. I slice the logs and I stand here for 20 minutes. What about something more precise with movement, something like agility? So for that, I'm going to look at my construction cape, right click it, teleport to our playground house, and we are going to use the portal nexus to go to the Ardone agility course. Oops, I don't want to go to Barrows. Forgot my left click is set to Barrows. Teleport menu, scroll down it, just like this, sort of like how you would move between apps on the home screen. Look at Ardone, tap our fingers together, and we are here. So I'm gonna look at the obstacle, tap my 2 fingers together. It is really that simple. It is really futuristic, really cool. Now, you might be thinking, this is cool, but not as cool as you hyped it up to be in the intro. Well, I have a feeling that methods 2 and 3 of playing will change your mind. Now, before we jump into the second method of playing, there is one thing I want to show you that you cannot do with a tablet or a laptop, and it's probably my favorite feature of the Vision Pro. So if I press the digital crown up on the right, you can see that it takes me back to the home screen, but RuneScape is still open. From here, let's say I want to listen to some music. I can open up the music app, drag it over to the right, and now it's like I have 2 monitors. Or let's say, you know, while I'm listening to music and playing RuneScape, let me pick up that mark of grace real quick. Let's say I want to browse on Safari. I need to look something up on the wiki. I can do that. I now have a 3rd monitor over here, or watch my favorite podcast. It is really, really cool. The fact that without needing the space of 3 monitors, you can have 3 monitors. You can have more than that too. You can have, I think it maxes out around 10 different screens at a time. However, it's still not ideal to play RuneScape by pinching and dragging and just holding your fingers in the air. There's no way you're going to be able to do bossing like that. So let me turn off the Mount Hood background and show you the second method. Right here, I have a magic trackpad connected to the Vision Pro, meaning as soon as I start moving it, I can use it. It's a mouse. It's a trackpad, but you know, I have a mouse cursor. It's really, really cool. Now, this is the only mouse or trackpad compatible with the Vision Pro at the moment. I imagine full Bluetooth mouse support will come at some point, but right now you can only use the Magic Trackpad, which kind of sucks. However, you can use any Bluetooth keyboard you want. So I've also connected this Bluetooth keyboard, and you'll see here, if I use the arrow keys, it moves the camera just like it would on desktop. Now that's pretty cool, but the coolest part is you can also use the function keys. Now on this keyboard specifically, you have to hold the function key to use the function keys, but there's plenty of Bluetooth keyboards out there that aren't like that, and I could probably configure this one to not be like that too. So if I hold the function key, press F1, you'll see that my combat tab opens. If I press F2, my inventory opens. F3, prayers. So it's literally like you can switch tabs just like this, like how you would on desktop. It is really cool. Although it's not the same as having 3 monitors and, you know, not being strapped into a headset, this is really cool for travel, like if I'm on a plane and I need to maybe get some work done, you know? Having multiple monitors, I can have RuneScape up on the side and AFK if the plane has Wi-Fi. But still, at the end of the day, this isn't a mouse and this isn't RuneLite. And that's exactly what the third method will fix. So let me set that up for you real quick. Okay, we are now all set up for the third way to play RuneScape on the Vision Pro. Here's my cat. He's just sort of chilling here. As you can see, I now have a MacBook out and I have taken away the old school RuneScape app. You see there's a floating connect option here. So if I tap my fingers together while looking at that, you'll notice here in just a second that the screen goes dark and I now have this massive screen in front of me, which I'm going to move back just a little bit. And what's really cool about this is you're no longer limited by what peripherals the Apple Vision Pro is compatible with. I don't have to use the Magic Trackpad because my mouse is hooked up to my laptop. So you'll see I'm moving this mouse and it's showing up on the screen. It is really cool. Same thing with this built-in keyboard. I need to set up the F keys, but as you can see, it definitely works. I want RuneScape to be bigger and the rest of the monitor to be smaller, so I can go to my settings here and we can bump it down to, let's say 1600 by 900. That seems a little better. I could probably go smaller than that too, but this seems fine with me. So, and just like that, we are playing RuneScape on the big screen. And now here is where things get really, really cool. The latency on this thing is only about 12 milliseconds, meaning that you can boss on it pretty effectively. That's less latency than connecting to like an East Coast server from the West Coast, so it's perfect. Not to mention, I still have my other monitors and stuff up here, and if I really want to, we can go back in to Mount Hood. This is for sure the most immersive, coolest way to play RuneScape, I think, ever, and it's only going to get better. But if it doesn't work the way I'm claiming it does, especially when it comes to high-stakes activities like bossing, it's kind of useless, so let me prove that to you right now. Okay, I am now all geared up for Vorkath, and on the way over, I do want to say that this being able to mirror your screen thing is only exclusive to Macs and MacBooks. However, there are apps on the App Store that seem to allow you to do the same thing for Windows and I believe Linux as well. Here we go. I have not done Vorkath in a very long time. I haven't bossed in quite a long time. And this is actually my first experience doing it on the Vision Pro, so we will see how this goes. I think it'll go okay. Really hoping our specs hit. That one hit, okay. All right, so far so good. So far, really good, actually. Okay, here we go. Oh, I got hit trying to turn the volume down. Oh my goodness, okay. This is actually really smooth. This is not bad at all. I really can't notice any latency issues whatsoever. I don't know if I'd be able to Woox walk. That might be something to try, actually. Okay, this is crazy. I might die. I want to try Woox walking on this thing. Okay. I still got it. I could probably, I think I'm wasting a few ticks here, but honestly, I will take that. I am so happy with that. How crazy would it be if we got the pet on the Vision Pro? Okay, we'll take that. Dragon Longsword, not a bad drop. As you can see, bossing on this thing, totally doable. For me, it's really enjoyable. I don't know how well it translates to camera. Before I say too much, let's cut back over to my final thoughts. So, is this really the best way to play RuneScape ever? In a lot of ways, yes. You have unlimited monitors, it's perfect for people who travel all the time, you can sit or lay in any position, and it's really immersive. However, I can't recommend that you all go out and buy one for a couple of reasons. First, it's nearly $4,000, and a double or triple monitor setup at home costs 10 times less than that and offers almost the same thing. Not to mention, it's fairly front heavy, so it's not really comfortable for long sessions. The battery only lasts about 2 hours, and it requires you to have a laptop or a computer to get the best experience. However, in 5 years, when all that isn't a problem anymore, I could see myself replacing my entire setup with one of these because it is just that cool. If you like this video, check out another one, like the one on the right where I test out old school RuneScape on the Steam Deck. It's much cheaper and honestly, a lot better than RuneScape Mobile in a lot of ways.